Hi, welcome to Buzz, Indiana's Underground Business Voice. My name is Tony Selzo. I'm here with, I got a special guest here today, Travis Brown, Mr. Mojo. Now, you are really one of the country's premier teen leadership coaches. Now, how did you get into that? What made you want to do that?
Well, I think that a lot of people that speak on the area of leadership do it at the corporate level, sometimes at the college level. And I really felt like that the teen level is kind of getting neglected.
Yeah.
So I took the same thing that I taught at major corporations all across the country, major colleges, kind of simplified it so we could teach it at the high school level for teenagers.
Okay. So when you say simplified, are you really simplifying? Are you really taking and augmenting that message so it really gets heard at that level?
Yeah, I guess when I say simplify, I mean that sometimes trainers try to keep things complex at the corporate level.
Sure.
With teenagers, you have to find a different way to engage yourself with them.
Yeah.
I mean, because they have to be able to connect with you first before they're even going to hear your message.
What are some of the things you do to connect with that generation? I know personally there's plenty of people watching this. They're going to want to know, how the heck do I connect or even get heard by my teenager?
Yeah. I think the first thing that teenagers always look at is, how real are you? I mean, are you going to stop acting like you're perfect, that you've never made any mistakes, and be authentic? And I think that anybody that does professional speaking, they know that's like the true key to success, is being willing to be vulnerable. And I think that when I start to share some of my own failures with teenagers and some things that I just didn't do successfully, for them it's kind of like, wow. I mean, he's willing to talk about his failures, not just that he's some great and wonderful person.
Speaking in front of all these people, and he's done this before.
And really talking to them at a level that says, listen, not that we've all been a teenager, but talking to him at a level going, listen, I've made the mistakes. I've had these failures, and these things didn't work so well. And so here's the things that you can do, to get more out of your life, to be more of a leader, to be more successful at an earlier age.
Who incubates a relationship in order to get you in front of a crowd of 150, 200, 300 teens? I mean, are you going in it through the schools?
Yeah.
I mean, who do you sell to? I mean, who buys Mr. Mojo?
Well, I think what people got to understand is that there's two basic things I do.
Okay.
Number one is some schools will bring me in to speak to all their kids.
Okay.
Convocation full of 1,000+ kids. You go in and you deliver a motivational talk for all those kids. And I love to do that, Tony, and that's a lot of fun. But we also have a lot of success when schools will go, hey, we want to pull together 100 of our kids. Some of them are the most successful, smartest kids, and some of them are those kids that are really on the borderline. We bring them in, that group, and then we work through a leadership process to teach them. So a lot of our success is relationships with principals, strong teachers, and a big thing is the athletic departments across the country.
So principals, teachers, and athletic directors. I mean, just like we would think that's really how you get in to affect the change you want to make happen.
Right. But sometimes it comes through like a PTA member or a parent that just goes, man, our school really needs this. Let me connect you with our principal or our athletic director or one of the coaches at the school.
Are there other people in your game in the United States? Are there other players that are teaching teen leadership? And if there is, what makes you different from them?
Well, I think there are people out there that teach it. I think that what makes me, have an upper hand or an edge is that when I go into that room or that gym or that auditorium, I have a way of really connecting with the kids through the clothes that I wear. I mean, I don't wear a suit when I go speak to the kids.
Yeah.
I wear jeans, tennis shoes, and a T-shirt because it starts relating. I use analogies and stories that are music-led or celebrity-led, people that they can recognize and understand that, I'm relevant to what they're talking about. But then you put in that teen message, that how do you connect with them as far as creating leadership opportunities in a world that they can understand it. Now
changing gears on you in a second, who else is selling to these schools that you were going to look to network with? I mean, have you struggled with that? I mean, I know we've had that conversation before. Who else has those entry points?
Well, there are other people that have those entry points. I mean, any place from like the class ring company, the date book place, calendars, embroidery places.
We have some printers in town that focus on nothing but ADs, so that might be a good bridge for you.
No, absolutely. I think the challenge right now is everybody hears all the budget cuts that are going on in schools. People focus on curriculum, math, science, English, which are all great. But what I do is I'm bringing leadership to the schools, and sometimes that gets left out of the budget.
One of the first things to get next, because you're looked at as a luxury, not necessarily a necessity, and I get that, and I think that's that's probably as sad as it is true, that our schools don't make a priority of teaching people how to lead. That's just are teaching our kids how to lead.
Absolutely.
Because I always think about what I learned through my career and how obsolete it is now, and how much better I'd have been suited to get Maxwell, John C. Maxwell jammed in my head, or Tony Robbins jammed in my head. I mean, how much more powerful would that have been just to make that happen?
Well,
night and day.
You see that there are some teachers that do a great job at that, and they add those leadership, those character developments, ownership. Some of the principles that I teach, I think that a lot of them are so focused on, passing test scores. So, the schools that I've worked with in the state of Indiana and all across the country have just had so much great feedback on how it's really affecting their kids and how they're taking more ownership in their own schools.
Awesome. Travis Brown, you've been buzzed.
Thank you, sir.
All right.